Hello everybody, welcome back to Tiger Tales, a audiobook podcast where I read you guys my fan fiction of original characters placed into the worlds of fiction that we all know and love. This is no copyright infringement whatsoever. Now let's enjoy today's episode of Power Rangers Future Foundation, where we meet the second Ranger and we get introduced to an old and familiar Ranger abilities. Let's dive into Power Rangers Future Foundation. Chapter 2, Daughter of the Dino Gems. Chloe Ford sat in her room talking to the video camera. So to wrap it up, my mother and father were both Power Rangers, and were the chosen ones for the Dino Gems. Well, Dad's a deadbeat dad, and never paid any attention to me, because of something that happened with his father or something, I don't know. And my mum's a pop star, who's on tour, and no one knows I am her daughter because she doesn't want me in her spotlight. And if anyone finds out they are Power Rangers, I could be in deep trouble. And, even worse, I could be in danger, Chloe said to her camera. Then she huffed, turned off the camera, and flopped onto her bed. She knew she could never post the video, even though it would really annoy her mother, and maybe actually get the attention of her father. Chloe opened her laptop and checked the tour route. Her mother would be in Washington, D.C. by now. Her next live performance was the next night. "Go get it, Mom," she muttered. Chloe stared at the ceiling. Her mother would be back in 4.5 months. Then life would be different again. She rolled her eyes at the thought of spending time with her mother. She always would try to spend time with Chloe, all the time, making up for the fact that she travels a lot, and tries to make up the fact that she never sees her father. Now, he was an artist, with an art gallery somewhere across the world. He never really had much contact with her anymore. She would be lucky if she got more than 3 calls a year. He was talented, and when he wanted to be, he was very charming and funny. But he was never around. Chloe put on the TV, and finally fell asleep. She woke up to the sound of her phone vibrating. She rubbed her eyes and grabbed her phone. She swiped to answer the phone and held it to her ear. "Chloe?" Her father's voice came through. "Dad, what time is it?" Chloe asked, half asleep. "It's going to be rather late for you. I'm sorry for waking you, but I need you to do something for me," her father snapped. "What?" Chloe muttered, half asleep and also half confused. "Go into your mother's room. I need you to find something," her dad told her. "Dad, please, this is, stupid. Why on earth would I need to go into Mum's room for you?" Chloe snapped back. "Chloe, please, we don't have time for this. This is something not normal for you. This is a Power Ranger matter," her dad growled. What?" Chloe gasped. She held her breath for a second. Her mother told her about the Power Rangers a few years ago, but according to her mother, her team of Power Rangers lost their powers after they defeated Mesogog. "Chloe? Chloe," her dad called through the phone. "Yeah, sorry, what was that about the Power Rangers?" Chloe asked as she finally remembered to breathe. "Look, your mother kept the hollow shell of the Dino Gems. Well, mine and hers, anyway. I need you to go find them for me," her dad told her. Chloe stood up and kept her phone to her ear. She stumbled through the house and opened the door to her mother's room. It was tidy and untouched. She looked through her mum's wardrobe, under the bed, the bedside table. Then she found the old guitar case. It was rusty and worn out. She opened it and 2 small clear crystals rolled out onto the floor. "Dad, I think I found them," she muttered. She grabbed the 2 crystals and held them in her hand. Her mind started racing. So many questions ran through her mind. "Listen to me. I need you to get rid of them, okay? Someone wants them, and I can't have you be put in danger because they're in the house. And those crystals fall into the wrong hands, we could be in trouble," her dad said sternly. "And where am I going to put them?" she asked. But before she could get an answer, the phone cut off. "Dad? Dad? Trent," she called out, but nothing came from the phone. She checked her phone, and she had no signal. "What is going on?" she whispered. She grabbed her 2 crystals and ran into her room. She checked her laptop and found that also had no signal. Chloe sank to the floor, her mind racing. Her heart was pounding. Her stomach started to turn. She had no idea what was going on, but something told her it was going to be bad. Something was really wrong here. Suddenly, a loud smash came from downstairs. Chloe glared at her door. She stood up and placed the crystals in her pocket. She grabbed her phone, even though it didn't have signal, and she left her room and started tiptoeing down the stairs. More noise came from the front door. She could see the shadow of someone there, their hand through the glass on the floor, and they were trying to figure out how to open the door, trying to get to the door handle. "Oh, hell no, is this happening now?" Chloe whispered. Chloe grabbed a closed umbrella and held it close to her to defend herself. As she got closer, she could see the person through the door was not human. It was gold and greyish, a silver humanoid, a machine type of thing. Chloe watched the thing for a minute as it stumbled its way through the door and stood up. "Why on earth are you here?" Chloe asked the machine as it stood. The machine just stood there, staring at her. That's when it hit her. She knew what it was. "Hang on a minute, I know what you are. You're a cog." "But the machine empire was destroyed years ago," Chloe said in confusion. She remembered them when she did her research on the Power Rangers after her mother told her about the Dino Thunder Rangers. The cog swung for Chloe. She stumbled backwards, blocking the attack with the umbrella, which fell into two pieces as the cogs attacked again. Chloe ducked and punched the cog in the stomach and ran away. That was the first time she punched something properly, ever. She ran through the house and out the back garden, and ran into the backyard, where she found another cog. This one grabbed her and threw her to the ground. As she hit the grass, the two crystals fell out of her pocket. The cog noticed and lunged towards her, hands out ready to grab the two crystals. Chloe rolled over and grabbed one. The cog hit the ground and snatched the other one. Chloe stood quickly. Suddenly, the cog from the house burst through the door and joined them on the grass. Another cog jumped off the roof and landed with its fellow machines. "Uh-oh, what am I doing? I can't do this," Chloe muttered. She stood there with a crystal in hand. She thought about giving the crystal to the machine, but then her father's blunt voice ran through her mind. She tightened her grip around the crystal. She couldn't give the crystal up. Her dad never called her, and something told her that this could not be the end. She closed her eyes. Fear settled in her stomach. She didn't want to die here, not on this night, not holding this crystal. "No need to be afraid," a calm voice appeared. Chloe opened her eyes to see herself surrounded in pure darkness, and a knight stood there in front of her. The knight was badly wounded. "Who are you? What is happening?" Chloe called out. "No need to be afraid. I am a morphing master, and you are Chloe Ford, the daughter of Kira, the yellow Dino Thunder Ranger, and Trent, the white Dino Thunder Ranger." The master spoke gently. Chloe stood there stunned. The knight knew more than what she thought. She was actually stood in front of a morphing master. How is that possible, she thought. Yeah, that's right, Chloe stuttered. "Listen to me, Chloe Ford. This is not the time for your fear. You have been chosen by us, the morphing masters, to aid us defeating a new foe, and to protect the universe. We could not make a new power with the morphing grid. We had to revive some of the old powers and give them to new chosen people to be Power Rangers, and we have granted you your mother's powers if you choose to accept them," the master told her. Chloe looked at the floor. She was sick and tired of waiting around for her parents, for her life to start. She was tired of waiting. She wanted to do something with her life, like her mother did, like her father did, and maybe this could just be her chance. She looked back at the morphing master. "Yeah, I want to help," Chloe said with determination. "There are other chosen ones with different powers, but you need to make them into a team," the master told her. "Okay, who?" Chloe asked. "That is for you to find out on your own. Now go defend yourself, and don't forget, there is no need to be afraid," the master told her. Then within a flash, he was gone, and Chloe was back in her backyard, facing the three cogs. She looked down to see the silver band on her wrist, and the crystal attached to it. It was now yellow and glowing. She could feel the power surge through her. She looked at the cogs, who were slowly walking towards her, then back at her wrist. Suddenly, in a flash of light, the crystal and the silver band transformed into the yellow Dino Thunder Morpher. "Whoa," Chloe gasped. She looked at the cogs and smiled. She made an X shape with her arms. "Dino Thunder!" she called out. Then she held her hand across her torso. With her other hand she pressed the morpher. The eye of the pterodactyl lit up. "Power up! Ha!" she yelled. A sudden light exploded from her, and a sudden surge of power flowed. Within a second, she was stood there as the yellow Dino Thunder Ranger. The cogs dived at her. She blocked an attack and jumped high in the air and over the cogs. She landed and kicked one of the cogs in the back, knocking it to the ground. She grabbed a flower pot from behind her and smashed it over another cog. She then punched the cog in the chest, and then again. The cog fell to the floor and started shaking. Static shocks sparked from the cog. The other two cogs rushed towards their fallen teammate. One cog showed Chloe the crystal in its hand. Chloe jumped high in the air once again and aimed her attack at the cog. With a sudden static-like blur, they disappeared. Chloe hit the grass, her fist punching the dirt. She stood tall once again. She demorphed and stood there. She was alive, but yet she felt defeated. She lost the other Dino Gem. Suddenly, a vibrating sound came from behind her. She found her phone on the floor ringing. She must have dropped it during the fight. She picked it up and read the name. A name she hadn't read in a while. She answered it. "Hey, I need to talk to you," the voice came through. Chloe remembered what the master said, and she thought about Adam and his dojo. Maybe this is what the master was talking about, she thought. "Hey, Dante, it's good to hear from you," she answered. As Dante spoke, she texted her dad, telling him she threw the crystals in the lake. And that is chapter 2. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Please let me know what you guys are thinking, and I'll be back with chapter 3 soon.